Hi, Dr. Helen here. I'm so excited you decided to stop by. Today I'm going to teach you how to make tofu in an air fryer. Who knew, right? People usually felt like they had to fry the tofu to make sure it's nice and crispy, but with the air fryer, with no oil, we can do it without the oil. What does that mean for you? That means better heart health, less excess weight around the waist and everywhere else, and just an overall better feeling for you. So if you want to know how to do that, stick around. Can cause a toxic buildup. And that's something that's important, right? Let's reverse it. Hey, I'm so excited that you decided to stay to learn how to make tofu in an air fryer. We're going to make it a very simple recipe. It is so quick. You can actually make your tofu and go do something else, and then by the time you're done with the something else, then your tofu is ready. So you don't have to sit over it, you don't have to watch it. You just put it in and you're good to go. All right, here we go. What I have done is I have taken a non-GMO soy pack of tofu. It says organic and non-GMO on the package, and that is very important because most soy is genetically modified. I don't think your body knows what to do with that, so I'd rather get what nature made and not what the lab made. So what I do is I look for that non-GMO logo and I look for the organic logo on the same package. Now, once I do that, I drain the tofu of all the water, and then I will wrap it in several pieces of paper towel and put it on a plate. Then I'll put another plate on top and then something heavy. What does that do? It just helps to drain out the extra moisture from the tofu, and it'll give you a thicker consistency of the tofu and it's less watery. So I always do that first, unless of course I'm making a tofu scramble, but that's the subject of a different video, so we're not going to go there. But you might want to do that. Sometimes I have done this recipe without actually draining all of the water out. I'll just kind of dampen it and kind of squeeze it a little bit and then use it, and that's also good. But depending on the consistency you want, you might want it to dry out a little bit longer. So first things first, I have sliced each one to get 8 slices. So I sliced it 7 times along the short length of it. Then I'll flip it and I'll slice it 4 times or 3 times to get kind of long or rectangles. And then I'll slice just in the middle of the tofu to get these squares. And you know, I'm not really good at making them all the same size, but about the same size is good enough, okay? Then what I'm going to use is I use either tamari, which is a type of soy sauce. It's just less sodium, but it still has sodium, but it adds flavor. I just don't want it to soak in there. So what I'll do is I'll just drizzle it over the tofu, like so. And then all I want to do is I just want to get it kind of beige. So I get it in and I get it out, all right, as quickly as I can. So get it in and get it out. So you just kind of want it to be just kind of light beige, and then you move it out. All right. And when that goes, now what we're doing is we're actually adding the flavor right in here. Now sometimes I do this and I just don't put any salt in it at all, depending on what I'm doing. But when I want there to be flavor in my entire dish and I want to bite into flavor, this is what I do. And then I just kind of make sure that that the other parts of the food that I'm eating is not full of sodium, because this will be enough sodium to have with that meal. Okay. Now, once I have that in and out, it's just kind of a light brown. Then we're going to actually take it and put it in the air fryer. Now, I always like to use these little sheets in my air fryer because it kind of helps to protect from cleanup. So basically, I want to just put these in 1 layer thick into the air fryer, and I'm going to put it on 370 degrees. It's not a magical number, but my air fryer came set on 370 degrees. And because I was not interested in fiddling with it to figure out what all the different settings were, I started doing everything on 370 degrees, and voila, it makes most everything perfect at 370 degrees. Sometimes I'll turn it up now because I've had it longer, I've had more experience with it, so I can change the temperatures and do different things with it. But for the most part, I'm going to use it at 370 degrees, and it's also preset for 15 minutes. You might find that your air fryer might have different settings, and you might get the same effect at a higher temperature with less time, or vice versa, more time with a lower temperature. So that is up to you, depending on how you like for your tofu to look. But I like my tofu to be nice and golden brown, and it works every time. Sometimes I'll turn it over if I want it to be a little bit firmer, but it just depends on how I'm feeling that day. Most often this is good enough. All right, so I'm going to close my air fryer, and I'm going to turn it on the power, and then my tofu is on its way to being beautiful, brown, and delicious. Beautiful brown, BBD. I was thinking beautiful brown but delicious. That's what it is. All right, so we're going to let that cook for 15 minutes, and I'll let you see what it looks like when it's all done. So this is what the tofu looks like when you put the tamari on it. You see it's just a light brown color. It's just really just a faded brown. If you leave it in too long, it'll be salty. If you just let it get just light brown, then it will be perfect. So now let's see what it looks like coming out of the air fryer. Look at that. See how nice and brown that is? One layer deep. And can I try it? Look at that. It's brown on both sides. I'm going to try it for you because I know you want me to try it because you're wondering, like, what does that taste like? Well, let me let you know. Hold on. Okay, so I have to tell you the truth. This tofu is so good. First, I want to make sure you know that. But what I want to tell you next is that every time I make this, I have to make extras. From the time my kids were little all the way up until now, if I make this, I have to make extra because invariably somebody is coming by and they're eating it while I'm trying to do something else. And when I get to it, it's like half gone. So I am going to tell you that what I need to do is to make sure that I put this aside. My daughter is not here to eat it all up. So I'm going to put it to the side because I'm going to make something else out of this. And I can't wait to tell you what that is. But that's the subject of another video. So I hope you tune in so you can see what we're going to do with it. All right? Until then, live life by choice and make it a healthy day. Like and subscribe for more recipes and tips on how to reverse your type 2 diabetes.